Hello, I'm Bliznub, and welcome back to Building the Best. Today we're going to be looking at the Phantasma. Again, because I messed up last time. Suffice it to say, when this weapon came out, the information on the wiki was a little less than reliable, so I did an awful lot of my own testing on this weapon. And my own testing, turns out, was also a little less than reliable, because I didn't know a couple of the things on the wiki. So, many comments and lots of testing later, we have an updated build. But I'll get to that in just a second. So, the Phantasma is a sentient beam shotgun, which fires 5 beams, which coalesce into one on the target. So you'll only see actually 1 tick of damage per 5 beams, which is kind of odd. But this weapon has incredibly high status chance and base radiation damage, making it obviously incredibly powerful. However, this weapon has kind of a critical drawback in that its fire rate is 12 and its magazine size is 11. And its overall ammo capacity, I believe, is 275? Don't know that off the top of my head. But suffice it to say, when I did my previous build, I was not aware that DE had changed the ammo case mod. This, yeah, I didn't know that existed. I put an ammo mutation on my previous build. That was dumb. Anyhow, moving swiftly onwards, the Phantasma unfortunately is a weapon where that mod will absolutely be required. You will want to take a carrier and you will want your carrier to have ammo case. But besides that, this weapon is incredibly powerful, because besides it being a beam shotgun, an already quite rare and powerful combination, it has a secondary fire where it fires essentially a Toncore grenade, except more than... how can I put this? It fires a bomb which can self-damage with roughly the AoE of a Toncore. However, that bomb, when it explodes, releases bomblets, as the wiki calls them, and these bomblets will track targets within their range, which I believe is about 25 to 30 meters for the bomblets. And it will track those targets, go towards them, and explode. Curious to note, it will actually never explode on the target. This is an unfortunate bug in the game at the moment. I'm hoping DE sees to it soon, because these bomblets will only track targets within their range, and they only explode if they reach the end of their range, and they don't explode on impact. Meaning, if you sort of follow my train of thought, they will never actually explode on the targets, which is a bit disappointing, but the bomblets still do appropriate amounts of damage. They do 1/11th of this number down here, you know, obviously based on the magazine, because you can charge up to have a larger or smaller shot, which will use more or less ammo, generate more or less bomblets. Kind of an interesting feature, but basically the bomblets are useless, but the grenade is awesome. The grenade actually does a lot more damage than the primary fire, which is quite cool, but as you'll see in a second, they have different uses. Now, this is my previous build, which is flawed. I'm just going to say that outright for anyone who's clicked ahead to the 3-minute mark and looked at this and gone, hey, that's crap. Why? What do you... No, this build is wrong. So basically what I went for was a bit of damage and stasis chance, lots more damage, fatal acceleration to flatten out the arc on the grenade and make it a little more usable, and an ammo mutation, which, as I said, completely worthless. Don't use it. It's a terrible idea. What we're going for this time is this. Because this weapon has such high status chance and innate multi-shot, it can do that fun thing shotguns do, where all the status procs happen at once every time you hit the target. So we have, of course, gone for 3 60-60 mods to get 100% status chance before multi-shot. We've kept then the rest of the damage mods and added on vigilante armaments to get even more multi-shot and more damage, because whilst honestly I did actually quite like the mod that reduced the arc and increased the range of the grenade, functionally vigilante armaments here pushes this weapon over from just being okay to being amazing. And just really quickly, I should mention, Vicious Spread will actually provide a tiny bit more damage than vigilante armaments, but it reduces the accuracy from 100 to 3.2, and that is a serious drawback on this weapon. Not so much on the grenade, curiously, but on the primary fire, the beams actually spread out a bit, and you'll find yourself missing a target's head if you're aiming for it. So I went for vigilante armaments, which pushes this weapon up to 2,950? Is it 50? A lot of damage with 100% status chance and an absolutely insane fire rate. This weapon will tear through enemies because, and I should point this out, corrosive procs strip armor by 1%. And this weapon will be dealing an awful lot of them every second. Like, this weapon absolutely will shred anything with the armor to resist its normal damage. And its normal damage then is radiation, heat, and impact, which are all reasonably effective against most things. Like, impact damage isn't amazing, but yeah. Anyhow, let me just real quickly show you. So, we'll start with the unarmored enemies. And just beam you down. Take a couple clips. And fire off a full charge grenade. And just... You, stop stepping backwards. Okay, you can see the bomblets at work there. Basically, honestly, against Corpus, my current loadout isn't going to be amazing. And you probably want to switch to gas or gas viral. Sorry, a gas or viral build to deal with them. If you can get viral... If you get toxic damage on this, actually, that would be pretty amazing. But against things with armor, let me just... And, so the initial heat proc staggers them, the impact proc staggers them, the radiation proc makes their friends shoot them. And, of course, then the corrosive proc just strips any vestiges of armor they had. They're just gone. Just gone. They're just screwed. The Corpus Tech kept alive for a split second longer by deploying his little drone friend, but, yeah, he's gone too. There's no way. It should be pointed out at this point, if you are watching the ammo gauge, my carrier has died, so I am burning through my ammo supply quite quickly. But I think I've still got enough to kill all these guys. Because honestly, the Phantasma is absolutely insane, and I have tested this in missions where my carrier isn't just going to trip and die. And yeah, it keeps up. You may occasionally have to switch to your secondary and shoot something to get an ammo drop, but honestly, no, you'll be fine. And there we go, I'm out of ammo. There's a Corpus Tech left. I did not do that very carefully. Anyhow, that's the Phantasma. This weapon is an insane amount of fun, and I can highly recommend it. And I say that because, honestly, I hated it when I first got it. Like, I absolutely did not like this weapon. Okay, you need to just... Wait. Thank you. I absolutely hated this weapon because... As the first sentient shotgun, I was expecting something amazing, and I instantly figured out that the highest damage you can squeeze out of this weapon is about 3,500. And that's trash compared to some of the weapons out there. I didn't consider that that's 11 times per second it's dealing that damage. Like, my build does 2,900 because I went for the 60-60s. It isn't optimized for absolute damage output, it's optimized for status procs, which will provide yet more damage output. And it's just brutal. It really is. And I should point out, I tested this weapon level 100s because, honestly, it is a little slow chewing through level 150s. It will do it. It will absolutely do it. But it's going to be a little bit slower. I just really quickly want to show off the gas damage, because I do feel against those techs it was a bit of a disappointment. So, hello my techie friends. It's just... Yeah. Yeah, there we go. And you're all very, very dead. Lovely. So there you see. This weapon will absolutely hold up against high-level enemies. It will deal with level 150 enemies, I assure you. It will just take a minute longer to do it. Did I one-shot that guy? I think it did. And the bomblets nearly killed those. Oh. Good times. Of course, this build will struggle with the armored enemies, but you gotta have the pros and cons. So, there you have it. The Phantasma. Take 2. This weapon, honestly, like I say, I didn't like it at first, but it is insane amounts of fun. With, wait a minute. Was it that? What have I done wrong? Was it that? It was that. Yeah, this weapon, honestly, with corrosive procs tearing through enemies' armor, it is insane amounts of damage. It's really fun. And what I'd recommend you do, because the bombs do absolutely self-harm, is basically go around using the primary fire if you're going to be running around, and if you see a cluster of enemies, fire a bomb off into them. But do not rely on the bomb and the bomblets, because they will let you down. But honestly, this weapon, amazing. A real surprise, and I'm so glad I gave it another shot. And just on that point, for those of you who did call me out on the wrong build, thank you for that. Honestly, I really appreciate feedback, whether it be positive or negative. It is all constructive if you're talking about the build, and it absolutely helps me. I want to provide the best builds here, after all. This isn't just any old... these aren't just any old guides. We're trying to do the best we possibly can. And frankly, taking this weapon from being able to sort of chew through level 60s to being able to chew through literally anything because the corrosive procs don't stop scaling. Like, I will tear through anything, it doesn't matter how much armor it has. It's only a matter of time before that armor is gone and I'm eating at its health and it's dead. Like, this weapon is fantastic now. So thank you guys for that. And with that, I think that's all I have to say. You know what, that's really starting to bug me. Let's just... there we go. There we go. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. As always, please like and comment below and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm Bliznub, and this is the Phantasma.